Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and guys, it is Tuesday and I have a beautiful hypo blood, also known as a bloody salmon, that is also 100% het albino, and she produced a great litter for me this year. We got some, actually we produced 2 fire opals from this little girl. Obviously she's sharp albino. And I actually think the fire opals actually might even have hypo in it as well. But so she's back to eating. She's getting up to size. And a lot of people ask me, what do bloods look like when they get to be adults? Well, this is an adult. You can see they get a little bit browned out, but she's still very, very red. And I think the het albino ones really stay even redder than the other ones. I find that the ones that are not het albino get a little browner. And I don't know if that's just me, but I just noticed that. She's been a great snake from day one. She eats good. She's very good temperament. She never is, very violent or never tries to bite or anything like that. I love the bloods. They got the beautiful black eyes. Look at that, just gorgeous. I think she's gonna go into shed. She's probably pressing on my microphone now. Hopefully, it's not affecting you hearing what I'm saying. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the blood stuff I have in my collection. That's the blood BOA stuff, because I have all kinds of different bloods mixed into different things. And I want to show you all the different potential that this gene has, because I think going forward that this is going to be the predominant gene that's going to be in almost all my BOA projects. So guys, stay tuned. Let's go into the snake room. Here's a pure blood that I got from Vin Russo. This is a pure Central American dwarf BOA. You can see how this is full-grown girl as well. You can see how much smaller she is than the other one that has that albino mixed into it. And obviously the albino is coming from the Colombian line, which is a much bigger BOA. This is a pure Central American, and she's pretty big actually for a Central American. And you can see she has no albino in her, no het albino in her whatsoever, and she's a lot browner. So they get a little browner, I believe. Now she's also 100% het anery type 2. And I didn't know that until I actually bred her out, and we produced what we call plasma BOAs, which are anery bloods with the hypo gene. So she's a hypo blood, and she's het anery, and she's gorgeous. She produced two great litters for me over the last couple of years. I gave her off this year because you shouldn't really breed BOAs too many years in a row. And I really love the way she looks. She always produces healthy babies. They're good eaters. I'm trying to think what I'm going to breed her into next, and I wanted to just show you the difference between the last one, which was very red, and once again she turned a little browner as she got older. Now let's take a look at some younger BOAs. This is a super Onyx blood, just to give you an idea of what blood looks like mixed in with other morphs. Now the super Onyx is a very dark snake, and this was the world's first one. It was produced last year. This is a super Onyx blood. When it was born, it was really, really dark red. The belly you can see is really, really red. And she got a little browner. She's in shed right now, but you can see this is a very, very red snake. But this is just the blood and Onyx gene. Now the Onyx gene, interestingly enough, has red when you strip away some of the darkness for it. So if I had, let's say I had the hypo gene in here or the T positive mixed in, this would be a much, much redder snake. But this is the super Onyx blood. Okay. Now by contrast, this is a blood that has the Honduran T positive in it. This was super red when it was a baby. It's still red. It's really red, as you can see, especially underneath. And it's getting a little bit browner as it's getting a little older, and she's growing. This is another dwarf BOA, like the Onyx. This came from the Onyx litter, but it's not an Onyx. I didn't hit on the Onyx on this one. I just hit on the blood and the T positive. And this is, to me, this Honduran T positive is the most red T positive out there. I think it's the nicest one, including all the Colombians and everything. But this T positive with the blood together produces a really, really nice looking snake. Now let's look. I want to show you what some of the Colombian, morphs do with the blood. So if we come over here and we look at, here is what we call a paradigm blood. Okay, this is blood gene with sharp albino and BOA woman caramel that sit on the same allele. We've talked about this in previous videos. This is a baby paradigm blood, and you can just see the exquisite color. So it's not an albino blood, and it's not a caramel blood, like the last one was. Caramel would be T positive. This is an in-between. It's a paradigm blood. And you can see it's a little creamier in color, but beautiful nonetheless. That blood gene just is such a great enhancer gene. You know, I'd like to get it into everything I produce. There's nothing that blood doesn't look good in. Now, by contrast, let's go take a look at what the albino gene does with the blood. This is the albino gene with the blood gene. Okay, this is sharp albino with the blood. There might be hypo in here too as well, because it's really, really red. This is, you can see the red eyes. Once you see those red eyes, you know that there's albino in there, and this is blood. And you can see what these two do together. This was the original, you know, Vin Russo did the original blood albinos. He did it with the Call albino line, and he called it the dragon, the red dragon. This is the sharp version of it, which I think is also, I think they're equally beautiful in different ways. And I like the sharp. I do both albino lines, but I like the sharp line. I think they're a little bit more hardy. And this little boy is exquisite. I actually produced 2 of these in the same litter. And as you can see, blood does some amazing things. Now this is a blood that's 100% het leopard. Or it's actually 66%, but I would say it's 100% het leopard. Bow tie saddles. It's got all the little leopard markings. Not a happy camper, so I'm not holding her right now, but I'm growing her up. This is gorgeous. I wanted to produce the visual blood leopard, since leopard happens to be a dark snake, but with a red undertone, and I figured the blood would bring that out. What we have here is pretty close, so I'm holding her back. I'm repeating the breeding of double het blood leopard to double het blood leopard. I thought I was going to get a litter this year. I'm still waiting on a possible, more than likely we'll have to wait till next year. This girl is just exquisite. Once again, if we can get leopard and blood into the same snake, and then maybe breed the leopard blood to the albino blood and get leopard albino blood, wow, that would be spectacular. So there's a lot of great stuff in the future. And then of course the next step would be is, you know, I love the sterling boas. As you guys know, I have a lot of sterlings. I would love to get blood into the sterling project. And let me show you what the sterling. This is a Russo red, okay? Hypo sterling. Sterling being the patternless boa. As you can see, there's no pattern whatsoever. And Russo red is a pastel line bred trait that Vin Russo has been breeding for the last 20 years. Look how red that is. There's no blood in this. But imagine if we put blood into this sterling line, or even blood albino. How red could we produce a snake with blood, okay, sterling, and albino? Oh my God, it would be a solid red, fire engine red snake. It would be incredible. And I don't know how many years off that project is, but to me, the blood gene is just, it's like Enchi and ball pythons. It just makes everything better. And once again, the goal in boa breeding usually is how much red can we get into the snake? Blood just can never make a snake look worse. It really can't. And so that's the, this might be the end game right here. If we can produce a solid red snake that has all those genes in it, maybe even leopard, blood, albino, sterling. I mean, it's Onyx. We can go on and on and on with all our speculations and all our fantasies. But after all, you know, if you're looking to get into a good boa project, you can't go wrong with the blood. If you can't afford, you know, a multi-gene animal, a regular blood is very affordable. You know, I'm selling bloods that I have from 2018 now. I have some great ones. I have some ones that are combined with the anery gene, which I told you are called plasmas. You can hit me up if you want to get involved in the project. I'm even, you know, a lot of people contact me and they ask for advice. Hey Dave, where should I go with this? Who should I breed this with or that with? And I'm good at giving suggestions as well. You know, sometimes you just need a push in the right direction and it gets you inspired, it gets you impassioned about the project, and you might create something that no one else ever created again. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's Bloody Tuesday, as we're calling it. I'm Dave Palumbo. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button, and we'll be back tomorrow morning.